Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation continues from the Bavan Akhri composition of the fifth Nanak, Guru Arjan, and we begin with the recitation. Salok Aavan Aae Srisht mein hai, बिन बुझे पस ढोर, नानक गुरमुख सो बुझै, जाके भाग मथोर। पौड़ी या जुग में एक है को आया, जन्मत मोह्यो मोहनी माया। गर्भ कुंठ में उर्ध तप करते, सास सास सिमरत प्रभ रहते। उर्झ परे जो छोड़ छडाना, देवनहार मन है बिसराना। तारो कृपा जिस गिसै गुसाई, तारो कृपा जिसै गुसाई। एतयोत नानक तिस बिसरो नाही। Aavan Aae Srisht mein, protected by the Creator, we came into existence. Aavan implies protection, and the implication here is protection of the Creator. In other words, the process of creation guides us into existence and into this world. But, says Guru Arjan, bin bujha, without self-realization, pas tor, we remain shackled like animals. The words pas and tor both mean essentially an animal, pasu or tor, but they also refer to a mentality. And pas, for instance, refers to one that is shackled, that is tied, immovable, that cannot move because it's tied down. Tor is animalistic thinking. In other words, where thinking is not very evolved. So what happens is we come into existence with the protection of the Creator, but we get dazzled by the world, and the self, as we have noticed, recedes from our memory, and we become shackled to the world of time, space, things, objects, world play. Nanak Gurmukh so bujhai. Nanak makes this assertion. Jaake Pag Mathor, destiny favors the one who turns to good wisdom with self-realization. So bujhai. So Nanak Gurmukh so bujhai, Jaake Pag Mathor. Meaning, there's the implication here that we can take is that as there's an old saying that says, destiny favors the bold. In other words, those who are motivated and those who will take the risk of turning to good wisdom will be favored by destiny. So the question really is, what is self-realization? Because it seems obvious that without this, we are shackled like animals. Because Gurmat says, this is the purpose and end of human life. Self-realization. And we know, according to Gurmat, that although the insight of self-realization, because that is what it is intuitive awareness, can happen in a flash, it may take years of preparation, depending on our motivation and desire. And the other interesting thing about this journey of self-discovery is that it begins in the darkness of ego consciousness, which knows neither the self nor the way to get there. And that is why we need the light of Guru wisdom to guide us. And in the Pauri, in the step, the Guru explains the purpose of life. Into this world, he says, Ya Yug mein, we came to have an embodied experience of oneness with the self, which is the source of life or the creator. So in other words, we were embodied so that we could have this experience of oneness. That essentially is the game, if you will, since Gurmat refers to the world stage as a play. And Guru Arjan goes on to tell us that here's the goal, but also remember that you've paid a heavy price for acquiring the human frame needed for the experience. And what is that heavy price? That was being subjected to a prolonged inversion in the pit of the mother's womb, which is quite hostile, as we know. The embryo has to be protected. And that is what he's saying. Garbh kunt mein urd tap karte. Urd, you were inverted. But what protected you there? We survived, we were protected, we came into existence because in that inversion, in that hostile environment, we were aware of the self. It remained embedded in our awareness. And with every breath, we were aware of it. Saas, saas, simrat prabh rehte. That is how we were protected in a hostile environment. But upon birth, what happens is, the seduction of the world hypnotizes us. Janmat mohyo mohani maya. And the protective self recedes from our awareness. And then we create our own world, figment of our imagination, and become fixated on it. We become determined to preserve our created, self-created world at all costs, even though we know that it is all temporary. And it is this fixation to family, to wealth, to occupation, that eventually becomes the shackle that binds us. However, those who are guided by Guru wisdom are graced by the protector self. So what Guru is saying, do not lapse into unawareness again. Eet ot nanak tis bisre nahi. On that note, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.